Hello, welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to be talking about starting a business with money versus starting a business without money. So, my own view of this is that I can never start a business with money, me personally. I can never do that. And I believe there are two types of people watching this video. The first type of person is that you are somebody who has a business idea and you have money, but you fear that if you invest it into this business idea, the business might fail with all the money invested in it, and you'll go broke and you're done. And the second type of person who is watching this video is the type of person who doesn't have money, doesn't have any money, but you have a business idea you want to venture into, and you really believe in it, and you think that you have to have money for you to capitalize on it, which is a complete lie. I believe that if you're really passionate enough about a business, you'll find a way to start it without money. But for somebody who thinks that they need money to start a business, meaning that you can't find a way of starting the business without money, then that means you don't understand the business enough. If you can't find a way to start a business without money, that means that you don't understand the business enough to the point whereby you're able to find a way to start it without money. And if you are at that point, then I'd suggest you look for another business to do. Yeah. It is only good to get into a business you completely understand. Okay, so according to me, having no money to start a business is not a problem at all. It's not a problem because I will never start a business with money, and I'll tell you why. So, when starting a business, the only money you need is for upkeep. Your upkeep, the food you eat, transportation cost, and internet connection. That's the only money you need. So maybe you can just look for a small side hustle, like maybe slashing people's houses, mourning people's houses, cleaning people's houses, something that doesn't take too much of your time. You see, when you're doing a business, you're supposed to look for a way to survive, but this way of surviving shouldn't be taking 90% of your time, 90 to 100% of your time during the day. You should only be spending, let's say you have around 16 hours in a day for working. You should only be spending around 4 hours doing your side hustle that will give you money for upkeep and maybe internet connection. The rest of the 12 hours during the day, you're supposed to be spending it on the business you want to venture into, because that is your end game. Your end game is not this business that you are, this side hustle you're doing. You're not supposed to be spending the whole day in a side hustle. That you want to save money. You want to save money. You want to save money that you want to work. You want to spend the whole day on a side hustle so that you can save money to come and start the business. That's a very stupid idea, because there's one time I was arguing with somebody and he was saying that for him to start a business, he has to go and get employed somewhere for 10 years, working 9 to 5 for 10 years so that he can save money. Then after 10 years, he now comes back and now starts the business when he's around 40 years old, weak and finished. You're old, weak and finished is when you want to start a business. The people who started 10 years before, you're already retiring. Yeah, they've hired people to manage their business. They're out in Dubai chilling. Is when you want to start a business. It's a very foolish thought, because I don't think it's a very good strategy. Getting employed for 10 years for you to save money, then you come start a business. Hey, that's the most foolish thing I've ever heard, because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Maybe if you feel like you have to get employed 9 to 5, maybe go get employed in a company that is doing the same business that you want to do. I think that will be a much better utilization of those 10 years. Because let's say I wanted to start a business of offering a service for cleaning people's houses in a city. Then, if I must get employed, then the best thing for me to do is to look for a company that does that business. Then I work for that guy. You get? Even if he's paying you well and good, but the problem with salary is that it is as addictive as heroin. Once you start testing it, for you to detach yourself from the system of being paid salary every end month, it's a very difficult thing. Go ask addicts. They know how difficult it is to get off addiction. Yeah. So once you start testing that salary, it's like a trap. Yeah. You're in a jail. It will be almost impossible for you to stop it, because you'll be weighing two sides. Should I lose my job and go and risk starting a business which might not work? Or should I just stay here for my final remaining years and just work hard and save money and retire peacefully? You'll find that remaining there is the easiest option, and you'll go with it. Yeah. So I usually think that if you must work for somebody, I think the best way is to just work for that guy for free. Just work for that guy for free and just to learn. That's the whole point. The whole point is not for the money, just to learn. But for that to happen, you have to have a way of surviving. That's why, I come to my earlier point where I told you that look for small side hustles. A mini service you can offer people, like slashing. Even if you have a degree. I know it might sound funny for somebody who has a degree and wants to start a business and doesn't have money for upkeep and such things. It might sound funny for such a person that starting to offering a service that, such as slashing people's grass in people's houses or compounds, cleaning people's houses. You might feel like that's a service that it's meant for people who have not gone to school. But what you don't get is that you're not doing it because that's the best you can do. You're just doing it to support yourself, and in turn have enough time to invest in the main business, the end game business that you want to do. So that's the kind of job you're supposed to get. Something that you can just do for around 3 to 4 hours in a day, get paid and leave. Pay your bills, buy foodstuffs and leave and go on. Continue pushing forward your business idea. So you find that it's always good to start a business without money, because when you're starting a business without money, the important thing in a business is learning. That is usually the most important thing. You're supposed to, it's not learning per se, but it's understanding of the business. That is the most important thing. You're supposed to understand the business fully. That is what makes a business successful. You can't, there's this concept in Atomic Habits called trusting the process. Small, minute tasks that you do every day that will compound over time and make the business successful. So those are the kind of things you're supposed to be focusing on. Those small tasks that you do every day, but you do them with an understanding of the business, because if you don't have an understanding of the business, you'll be doing wrong things. So you have to have an understanding of the business. And the only way to have a full understanding of the business is by doing it. And while you're doing the business, you'll be risking. You'll be risking because you'll be making mistakes and you'll be incurring losses. So, and the best way to incur losses is when you have nothing to lose, when you have no money invested in the business. So even if you make mistakes, you won't fear making mistakes. Yeah. If you want to try something out, you'll try it without having doubts, because if you have money invested in the business and you want to try something new, you'll have doubts because you'll be feeling like that might lead to failure. And if you fail or if you incur losses, the money you invested will have been gone just like that. So starting a business for free is very important. In fact, it's actually the most important thing. And for you to start a business for free, you have to start small. Most people want to start big. Starting big you will need money for that. That is where investors come in. But for you to start, you just have to start small. That's the best way for you to even know if you're good at the business you want to do, if there's actually demand, and if there's actually customers for the business you want to do. Yeah, you can't start big because you don't even know if there are customers. You don't even know if you're good enough. You don't know the level of competition. Yeah, you don't know if the service you're offering is the right service for the demand that you discovered was there. You see, so you have to learn a lot of things, and the only way to learn these things is by actually doing. And when you're doing them, you have to do them at a low risk. And the only way to do them with a low risk is when you have nothing to lose, no money invested in the business. Okay, so this is the best to start a business. So these people who say you have to start a business with money, I don't know what they usually say, what they mean by that, but the people who start businesses with money are usually people who have become rich, and they've become rich starting through one business, only one business. And then once they have become rich, then they start investing that money into other businesses. So maybe people mistake this act of investing in other businesses as starting other businesses, but actually it's not starting other businesses per se. It is investing into other businesses. So it is best to just start a business without money, because even these rich guys, that business that made them rich, they got rich by only doing one thing, and that one thing they started doing it small, without any money, reading the market, weighing the demands, seeing where the kind of services customers need. So those are the kind of things you're supposed to be doing. So that's the whole problem of starting a business with money, and that is why I can never start a business with money. Yeah. So in my experience, there's a time I was doing a certain business, and I actually started with the business with money. It was a shop I opened. So it was in a strategic location opposite a college, but you find that I never really studied the place really well. And those are the kind of mistakes people do when starting out. Those are mistakes you can't avoid. You can never get everything right. Most of the things you will get them right as you go on. So there was a lot of competition around, but some were hidden. I didn't really identify them. And I started the business with money. So I ended up paying, I used to make like, let's say 100% of my income, of the profit I used to make per month. Its only profit is, the only way to pay rent for the shop you have is by getting money from your profit. You get. And the amount of profit, let's say the profit is 100%. So the amount of profit I made is 100%. The rent's cost alone used to take about 70% of the profit. And I remained with about 30%. You get. So this 30% was for me to survive on and restock and eat and pay my bills. So you see, it doesn't really make sense. There's no way I can do a business and 70% of my profit is going for the rental costs. Am I working for the landlord? I'm not. I can't work for a landlord, man. At most, the most percentage of profit you're supposed to pay for rent is 20%. That's the highest. If it is beyond that, look for another way. That's not a good business. Just look for another way. It's not a good business. So I started that business with money and later regretted. I learned the hard way. So I just wanted to share with you guys, never start a business with money. Always start for free. Start for free. Never start a business with money. For those who have money and who are willing to risk money and have enough money to risk, go for it. Well and good. But at the end of the day, the success of a business is not the amount of money that you have that will determine it. Is your knowledge, your understanding of the business. If you have the understanding of the business, you can get people's money. You can use people's money like investors. Yeah. But even if you have money, even if you have investors, if you don't have understanding of the business, you will never get investors to invest in your business. And even if you have the money to invest in it, it will all go down the drain. Game over. Okay, so the most important thing is the knowledge of the business, understanding the business in and out. So, to all these problems, how can you start a business for free? Some of you are asking, how can you start a business for free? So, I believe in every business. In every business, I believe there's always a way to start for free. In every business. So you can look for somebody who is offering the service or product, who is creating the product and offering it. You can look for somebody doing the exact business that you'd want to do and work for that guy for free. That's an example of starting for free. Another way is to offer to look for clients for that person. Let's say somebody offering a house cleaning service, or somebody selling computers at a computer store, or repairing phones. You can start offering him a service of looking for clients for him. So you find a way to look for clients, then you bring him clients, then he gives you a cut for each and every client you bring him. So you find that the action or the process of looking for clients for a particular business, actually, it is usually the hardest thing in business, looking for clients. Yeah. Getting ideas is easy. Ideas are all over the place. Ideas are all over the place. I believe almost everybody can execute. If you're passionate enough about the business, you can execute relatively well. You can execute the business relatively well. The hardest part is usually identifying the customers and getting them to pay. That is now what a business is. Money in. If your customers can't pay, then you're not in business. Yeah. That's a clown show. You're not in business. So that is usually the hardest part. And if you can get that part right, even if you're doing it for somebody else, I'm telling you, you'll be unstoppable. So look at any business you want to do and look for somebody who is doing that business, particular business. Then start by offering to get clients for the guy. Yeah. He can't refuse. Nobody can say no to more money. Who can say no to more money? It's impossible. If somebody says no, then that's a mad person. You should run away from such a person. That's not a person you're supposed to even work with. So look for somebody who's offering that business, doing that business. Offer to look for clients for that person. You can use social media, which is free. You can do that, or you can do that through guerrilla warfare. Walking and talking to people using flyers, posters. If you get a client for him, you take the client to him, the client pays, he gives you a cut. Yeah. And the cut he gives you, you save it, and later on, you start your own things, start investing into your business using that money that you've been saving. So in that way, you're able to start for free. But the idea that you're supposed to go into another field, let's say get employed into something totally different for 10 years, 10 whole years. Then after getting employed there, you save money for all those 10 years. Then when you're around 40 years old is when you now want to come and now start the business. When you're weak and old, finished, beaten down. How can that work? The best time to start a business is when you are young. Yeah. When you're young, that is where you have tremendous amount of energy and focus. Yeah. You're able to work 12, 16 hours a day. But when you're 40 years old, man, you have a family. You're going to risk, there's a lot on the line. So if you're risking to go into a business at 40 years old when you have a family, you're also risking the family. You're also risking, the family is also risking together with you. You have a lot more to lose as compared to now when you're single and alone. You have nothing to lose. Yeah, it's only you. Yeah. Even if you lose your house where you're sleeping, you just go and sleep on the streets. Yeah. Wake up tomorrow, then try again. But when you have a family, guy at 40 years old, is when you want to risk getting into a business that has a higher probability. There's a 90% chance it will fail. You must be a joker. So the lesson of today, the solution is always just start for free. That's the best thing to do. And the lesson of today is start for free so that even if the business doesn't work out, you have nothing to lose. Make mistakes cheaply. Make mistakes cheaply. And the key to business is understanding the business and not money. So if this video was informative and insightful, thank you for watching. Like it, share it, and you can subscribe if you want for more interesting videos like this. If I interest you, or you find me funny or fascinating, or you love the way I think, or the way I synthesize my thoughts and the kind of things I say, you can subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next video I'll upload.